Welcome to the episode of Johnny Talks Football. Today I'll give my surprise and disappointments from the NFL season so far, since we're halfway through with the regular season, and give out my Week 10 predictions. Now, the team that surprised me the most so far, is the Carolina Panthers. Being one of the three undefeated teams left, I thought they were going to go 5-11 and miss the playoffs. But they've proved me wrong. That defense is doing pretty well. Cam Newton's probably having a career best season so far. The second team that surprised me the most is the Oakland Raiders. I thought the Oakland Raiders would only win 3 games this season, but so far they've won more so far than I predicted. I see the Raiders probably winning a couple more games, but I still don't think they're good enough to make the playoffs or win the division. The third team that surprised me the most is the New York Jets. That defense is doing pretty well. I think a top 3 defense. I don't really look at the stats that much, but I know the Jets probably have like a top 3 or 4 defense in the NFL. So on to the disappointments. Disappointment 1 is the Seattle Seahawks. Now everybody was thinking the Seahawks are going to be dominant with Jimmy Graham at tight end. But so far that hasn't happened. Jimmy Graham is having a down season so far. It looks like all he's been doing so far is just blocking. And he hasn't really gotten a lot of receptions. He's not the Jimmy Graham we saw playing with the Saints. So they're my first disappointment so far. My other second disappointment is the Baltimore Ravens. After that Week 1 loss to Denver, it just has gotten worse for them because they lost Terrell Suggs for the season. They're just continuing to struggle. They can't get the running game going with Justin Forsett. My third disappointment is the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I know the Eagles have been winning a couple games, but they lost to Dallas in Week 2 without Tony Romo and Dez Bryant. I know they beat the Cowboys last week, but Week 2 should have been a victory for the Eagles. A lot of people thought the Eagles were going to win Super Bowl 50. But the Eagles are not even in first place in the NFC East. So let's get to the Week 10 predictions. Let's start with the Thursday night game. The Bills versus the Jets. Rex Ryan's homecoming. The question is, will the Jets fans welcome with open arms or with boos? That's kind of the question. It's not even about who's going to win. It's whether they're going to get welcomed with open arms or just boos. The crowd will just boo at them. But I think the Jets are going to win this one. If this was a game to be wrong on Thursday night, it would be this one. I just think the Jets' defense is just going to dominate this one. I think the defense will probably get about 3 turnovers in this one. I like the Jets to win by about 7 points. Lions and the Packers, not much to talk about. The Lions they're not doing well this season. I think the Packers are going to finally get a win after 2 straight losses. Next up, the Dallas Cowboys versus the Buccaneers. Now the Cowboys are struggling to win without Tony Romo. What is this now? 6 straight losses for the Cowboys? Losing streak ends on Sunday. I'd like the Cowboys to beat the Buccaneers in this one. I think it's going to be the running game that makes the difference for the Cowboys in this one. Next up, we have the Panthers and Titans. Now, I know the Titans are fresh off the win against New Orleans in overtime, but the Panthers are unbeaten. They keep winning, and I like them to win again. I like the Panthers to go 9-0 on the season and beat the Titans. Bears and the Rams. I like the running game of Todd Gurley in this one. I think he's going to have about 125 yards. Probably the best fantasy pick this week for FanDuel users and DraftKings or whatever those things are. I like Todd Gurley to have the best stats for a running back this weekend. I like the Rams in this one. Saints and Redskins. I like the Saints to recover from last week's overtime defeat against Tennessee. I like Drew Brees to throw for 4 touchdowns. Maybe even run for 1. Who knows? I just see that happening. But we'll see. Dolphins and Eagles. I like the Eagles to win this one. The Eagles are fresh off the win against Dallas. The Dolphins have been struggling ever since that humiliating Thursday night loss to the Patriots a couple weeks ago. Eagles all day in this one. Browns and Steelers. Now I know Big Ben's out, and it looks like Landry Jones is probably going to start at quarterback. But I still think it'll be good enough. I like the Steelers to beat the Browns. I honestly don't see the Browns winning another game this season. Jaguars and the Ravens. This was kind of a hard one for me because I know the Jaguars are really underrated and the Ravens are struggling to win games. But I like the Ravens to win this one by 3 points. I think Jacksonville is going to score points after points after points. But I think the Ravens will just do just enough to beat the Jaguars. Vikings and Raiders, two of the surprise teams of the NFL this season so far. I like the Vikings to win this one, setting up an epic showdown against Green Bay next week. I like the Vikings in this one. New England versus the Giants. I like Tom Brady to finally beat the Giants. I actually see him throwing for 5 touchdown passes, just demolishing that Giants defense. Chiefs and Broncos. Now, Aqib Talib is suspended for this one. It looks like DeMarcus Ware is going to be out for a month. But I still think they're going to do good enough to beat the Chiefs. It's in Denver. It's in the high altitude. I like Denver to dominate this one. Cardinals and Seahawks Sunday night. I like the Seahawks 12th man to make the difference in this game. They got to get Marshawn Lynch going. They got to get Jimmy Graham going. And I think this is the week to do it. I like the Seahawks to win in front of their 12th man crowd against Arizona. Finally, the Monday night game. Not much to talk about in this one. The Texans have been struggling all season, and the Bengals just keep on winning. I like the Bengals to just dominate this one, making a disappointing Monday night game. I see this getting ugly really quick. I would say Bengals will dominate this one. Maybe the Texans can have a shot for probably the first quarter. Then Cincinnati will just turn it on in quarters 2 through 4. Anyway, that is your video, and happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there, past military, present military, and even future. Thank you for your service. It means a lot. Anyway, thank you for watching, and have a great day.